Hi, you guys, and welcome back to Angels in the Library, your favorite spiritual ascension channel on YouTube and podcast. On tonight's episode, we are going to get into Travis Scott and Astro World. Anything can happen at the night show. Everybody, bring your exes. This is going to be some ultra demonic stuff we're getting into. So if you need to get your holy water, your prayer,
Prayer,
get your
call on
prayers together.
Jesus.
Call on Jesus before we get into this because it's that demonic. I have so many topics to even get into on this streak. Let me just pull up my notes because it's
Oh
so
my
many.
gosh, not notes.
Pull up
Not
my note
the notes,
because
guys.
wow. Okay. This is the main things that we could cover for this episode, okay? The frequencies he put out before the show, the artwork, okay, because we know that was crazy demonic. His virtues backing and supporting him. The decode on Selena Quintanilla, how it's attached to this. Good examples of being bad, like he's a good example of a demon doing their job. And lastly, him not being canceled. And also his lineage that he comes out of. There's so many aspects we have to get into on this. We have to get into the decodes. We have to get into the frequencies. We have to get into all of hell. Are you guys ready for the wrath of hell? If you are, keep watching. If it's too demonic for you, no, this episode isn't gonna harm you. It's all enlightening, but I'm letting you know we're getting into some demonic truths.
Allegedly for entertainment
Oh yeah, this is and
purposes.
that. Lastly, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. So let's talk about Travis Scott. I have an interesting history with Travis Scott. That could be a whole nother video. But Travis Scott is obviously a demon. Um, if you don't know Travis Scott is a demon, good fucking luck out here.
Like, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. And you know what's even crazy? I guess nobody down here realizes people are angels and demons anyways. But once you're on our channel and you start doing the math, it's like, can it get worse? I don't think so. And I've seen him in person. I've actually been around him multiple times. I could talk about that at the end if you guys want me to. But this is a person that's heavily demonic. He works in the pits of hell. So that's the first thing I want you guys to understand about his spirit. He actually works at in the hottest pit of hell. Like he works there, torturing and over that type of torturing at the lowest pits of hell. Okay? So that's where his spirit sits. The same way how everybody sits in different positions in heaven. So we're dealing with a demon that's at the bottom of the pits of hell. And he's bringing that to earth. Okay? Now, like I said in the many topics we have to discuss, the first thing with Travis Scott is he's a great example of a demon doing their job. Because for him to, after all of this, to not be canceled and nobody truly cares. They canceled Matilda Jerf. They canceled Cardi. They canceled everybody. This motherfucker killed 100 people. And he just made more money off a rap tour in 2024 than any rap artist has ever in history.
Terrible.
And he killed hundreds of people. They don't even know the true numbers on this. It's actually important that we have this episode and we talk about this because those people are actual real people and this affected their lives. And this is such a great example for everybody to keep your eyes open and to listen to people when they tell you who they are. Maya Angelou told y'all that. When people tell you who they are, listen to them. People tell you all the time who they are. And Travis Scott, he is telling people who he is. He puts it on his artwork. He lets it be known what you're getting involved with, and people take it as it's entertainment. Yes, we got angelic entertainers and we got demonic entertainers, and you're gonna come to wherever we're at. I'm in heaven. So when you come up here, we're going to get heavenly, which means we're going to get close. We're going to get to the creator, infinite intelligence, the most high, which is the truth. And when we get down to demons, we're going to get closer to deception, to lies, to the hidden things. Now, them being archons means they work with who? If you're on this channel, you should know the archons are the only ones that work with the angel of death. That is their main source of energy, is sacrificial energies. So if you're not a demon, you should not be at any of their shows, because even if you don't die there, they put things on your auric field. I've seen people after Beyonce concerts and they have things in their auras, and I have to take them out of them. They're putting, now they have a tracker on you. You might start getting anxiety attacks. You don't even understand what you're participating in. So if this didn't wake you up to understanding what you're participating in, and it's not just concerts, you guys. This could also be for the food you eat, because there's demonic foods down here. You wonder why you get cancer. You just gobbled up every demonic food. The clothes you're wearing. Okay? The brands, Labubu. We could talk about what the Labubu spirit is on this channel. But if you're not a demon, this is going to drag you to hell, and it's going to put you at danger, especially if you are from a very powerful angelic lineage, because the first people to die at the concert is angels. And mind you, they're hunting you. You are being hunted because you have more energy. So when you think you're just going here, you don't even understand how deep it is, sweetheart. Somebody wants your soul for food. And somebody like Travis Scott don't care about that because it worked for him. So this is what I'm trying to say. He's a great example of him going farther because he's doing his actual purpose, which is being demonic. Great, taking people to the pit of hell. So I know people that went there. Like I'm telling you, I've actually sat near him on. I've been near Travis several times, just because of my old jobs, things like this in the industry. I'm telling you, I looked at him and I saw his soul. It was like like I looked at him, all I saw was like a hole, and it just went down, 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 down to where his spirit was. And it was so far I couldn't go that far to see it. But all I knew was he was in the bottom pit of hell. Okay. He said anything could happen at the night show. The escape plan. All his songs is very dark, very eerie.
Mm-hmm.
He lives off of dark energy. Now, when we get into, like I said, the Astro World documentary, that documentary isn't even hidden on everything. And that's the sad part about it. The documentary is good because you can clearly see that everybody involved from Live Nation are archons, and they knew that people was going to die there. But the day before, they saying we don't have enough space for 50K people. When people were dying at the show, they knew people were dying and were saying, what should we do? You know, the police also knew the whole time. There are a lot of police officers, majority of them are archons. They all knew people were dying. It wasn't safe. It's not safe if tons of kids rush the entrance and people rush the entrance and get in. They're not checked for guns. They're not checked for weapons. It's a very unsafe place.
You're right.
The police did not care about nobody's safety. The only person that cares about your safety is Jesus Christ. But
Yeah,
when
I didn't understand that part. Why did it get rushed?
Oh, okay, because apparently the tickets sold out so fast. It's like people from all over Texas was there, so they just like rushed in because they didn't want to pay, and the police just stood by, let all this happen.
Yeah, I seen a guy mention that. I'm like, what? Why didn't the police do anything? But
And the worst part about it is, like, at the end of the show, all these people is dead, and they letting the celebrities leave the building before the ambulance is coming. The ambulance don't even get to the concert place until after it's done. They let every celebrity leave before that. Like the ambulances didn't even come inside.
Did they say as to why they weren't coming in?
I feel like for me at this point it was PR. I think once they knew people were dying, they were trying to minimize all this to after the show,
Mm.
and then also like the reason why they said it's only like 10 deaths is what I'm finding out now, or 11 deaths, is that um number one, in order to be counted, you had to have a wristband. And like if you've
Mm.
seen the documentary, everybody was just rushing it. People from all over the place were there rushing it. And then secondly, you had to die within the time frame of the concert. So if you went to the hospital
Mm.
afterwards and you died, that was it. And then they paid off a bunch of people. So it's all being covered up.
That's crazy.
And like I said, this is a great example of him being a demon, because this actually sacrifice gave him more energy, because his song Fiend, honestly, I feel like that's his best song to date.
Mm.
I feel like out of like his biggest hits was just Goosebumps, Highest in the Room. I feel like Fiend is like his best song. So like he's making his best work with all this energy.
Mm.
This just off of those, would you say Fiend is like to me the most catchy?
I'm not familiar with that one.
That one like Playboy Cardi's in it. It's like Fiend, Fiend, Fiend,
Oh, I
Fiend,
heard that on
Fiend.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's his catchiest song, like to date to me, out of everything he's put out. And like this is coming off of the energy of all these sacrifices. And
Mm.
it's called Fiend. Like he's fiending for more,
Mm.
And obviously we see like you saw people being dead. The bodyguards that was there, he mentioned also just he saw more than 30 bodies himself. I mean, people are saying, and also he said that on his page, he said that he also said he helped 100 people before the show even started. But also to know that Live Nation knew this was a bad setup too, and they didn't care. And then they also said that Travis was told 2 hours before the show that it was like dangerous.
Mm.
And I performed in many concerts, and you guys, you can see out there. Like it's very easy to see. And I'm saying as a person that does choreography, where sometimes I don't notice 'cause I'm dancing. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you pause and you get to look out there, you can see what's going on. I performed at Carnival in Trinidad. There's some thousands of people go to those shows. You can see. You can see. People are saying,
Yeah.
help, help, like fighting for their life. They can't breathe. I mean, stop the show, all
They
this
were
stuff.
running on the stage. I mean, it doesn't get any more obvious than that.
Yeah. People were desperate in this. And yeah,
Mm.
so let's get into should we get into the Selena decode?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the Selena decode. So the first person we're going to talk about is Brianna Gomez. Oh, sorry. Rodriguez. Wait, hold on, let me pause it, make sure I got the name right. Okay, you guys. So the first person I want to speak on that was a victim to this sacrifice is Brianna Rodriguez. Now, this is very important, you guys. Very, very important stuff, because we're going to look at Brianna Rodriguez, and this is a total decode that goes straight back to Selena Quintanilla.
Mm.
Okay, so Brianna Rodriguez. To me, I can very, very clearly tell that she's Michael. Do you get that vibe from her, Drake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, she has like that energy. She's like happy. She's dancing. You see how these are like kind of even giving me a Selena vibes with
Yeah.
the crop tops and
The
just the bright.
cowboy rodeo.
What do you say?
Like the rodeo cowboy thing.
Yeah, the rodeo cowboy thing. Yeah, I think that when I watched the. Let me close this off. When I watched the movie, all I could think of, I'm like, Astro World, which is in Houston, Texas,
Mm.
is where Selena's from, and her
Mm-hmm.
last concert was the Astrodome.
Mm.
So this was like an easy take for them at those places. So like if you're like from those lineages related to Selena and stuff like this, or the third lineage of the Michael family, and your Houston will definitely be a dangerous spot for you because they have a lot of their family there, and just seems like it's easier for them to take you out in places they already have before. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
easy for them to take you out in the same way. So yeah, that definitely gave me that vibe of like that's her last show. And they was even showing like her last dance rehearsal and like all these type of performing things that she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And for her just to be gone over going to a concert
It's sad.
at at 16. And that's why when we were talking about ageism in the video about Rock Nation going, the video about ageism. What did we talk? We did a video on Rock Nation being 40 million in debt, and we talked about
Yeah.
ageism. This is what they're talking about because when you're at 16, 17, even like under a certain age, like you just think like, oh, it's a concert. Like you're not thinking that deeply into these
Mm-mm.
things. But when you actually get a little bit of wisdom, you start looking at it like, do like you know when you're that young, you're just going because it's popular.
Yeah.
That's the hottest song, this and that. They're from the same city as you. You don't think deeply about like, oh, like this person's like singing about all these kind of crazy things. It doesn't really seem
Mm-hmm.
like happy or like positive. It seems kind of dark and eerie. But so that was the first decode. The next decode that I didn't know that I actually learned on TikTok is that Diddy's all through this. Diddy's all through this. The second decode is that Diddy had a crowd crush in 1991
Hmm.
and
Which we didn't
nobody
know
talks
about.
about it. How many people has Diddy killed that he's never been to jail for?
So many.
So many deaths. And I was also decoding this back to Floyd, um,
Mm. George Floyd.
George Floyd. I can't breathe because they're always killing people with suffocation. We have to think about what does suffocating mean, right? To suffocate somebody, like taking their breath, it actually drains you. Have you ever been in a sauna and you get hot? Like you feel
Mm-hmm.
so drained. So like you know how demons like just drain your energy? It's like they're literally pulling your energy out of your body and taking it for their purposes, for their own feast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like such a draining way to die. And then also with all these suffocations, number two to me, the second aspect of a suffocation that I find interesting spiritually is most of the times people think about like suffocating underwater, like can't breathe because you're underwater. And
Mm-hmm.
we know these are also the water spirits.
Yeah.
So
Drowning.
even what you say?
Drowning.
Drowning. So even above air, they're still creating the energy of suffocating, of drowning you, of taking you down, of pulling you under. And the second part of that is getting under things. We know the archons, the tarots, they rule over the mental space in hell. So they want us to get under these things and drown and suffocate and like kill ourselves under their ideas of how we should be in the world.
Mm.
Whether that's you're under a race idea, you're under a fake like you're under all these ideas that we think are normal ideas are from the pits of hell. And then when we get under them, we can't make clear we can't make clear logical sense. All we can do is fight and banter
Mm-hmm.
and actually cause ourselves harm or potentially kill our reputation because we're under a wrong idea. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the next aspect of suffocating that I found like, oh yeah, George Floyd. He said
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't breathe. Okay, so we know anytime somebody's suffocating randomly that they're being killed by an archon. Like I said, it's draining you, it's pulling, it's like sucking your energy out. Like you know, in those movies, a lot of times those evil witches, you always have those scenes where their energy gets sucked out, you know, and they die. So that's how that's their main thing. It's like a vacuum, like like hitting the blunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see them, like just like sucking your energy out of your body. Like you know how those movies with like Ursula and she has all those souls and like she's like pulling them out. Like when they ask you to sign the line and take your soul, they like pull that soul right out of you.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in those cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that is, that first part of it. Now there was something else with suffocation. Like I said, oh, it's the last part of it. The last parts. I do feel like it's a way that nobody thinks they're gonna die, right? Nobody thinks they're just gonna suffocate. That's also interesting. It's like catch you by surprise. And this is important because it's also a way they can get away with it. Because when you suffocate to death, it could be people could write it off, like all these deaths on Astro World. Oh, that person was on drugs and all these different things. George Floyd, he was on drugs, you know.
Yeah, a way to
That's
dismiss it.
right, because we grew up with crackheads every day and they wasn't suffocating. Okay. And they was on a lot of drugs. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's an easy way for all this to get pushed under the rug. And it's accidental. There was this murder mystery, and maybe I should talk about it one day. And he was like constantly accidentally killing his wives and getting insurance money. So I know they they like to tamper and accident.
What?
Yeah, it was like one of those crazy murder mysteries. I gotta send it to you, Drake, because it was his name was Harold. Let me see.
Jeez,
Here.
I have to send it to you. I'm like, please don't.
Murder
Crazy.
mystery.
So
Yeah.
all of those people that were listed in the documentary, they ruled their death as like suffocation.
Um no, those people actually I don't know what the ruling was. I don't know
Mm,
the exact ruling, but I know like on paperwork they weren't Jane Doe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they actually got okay, hold on. I'll pull this up real fast for you guys. Because this is the guy I'm talking about. There's so many decodes on this. Like it's all these, like I said, the accidental death. Aaliyah died accidentally. Start thinking about everybody who's dying from some accidental freak accident. There's people in these planes that have been dying. So now we
Mm,
know where that's coming. Freak accidents.
mm. Final destination.
Yeah, I was gonna say Final Destination. That's for sure. Them, and they definitely, and that Travis Scott concert gives me the Final Destination vibe.
I can't believe
What?
I can't believe these kids are still going to this. I mean,
This is the guy, Drake. His name is Harold Henthorne, accused of pushing his wife to
mm-mm.
death near Rocky Mountain National Park, already had a map with the X marked near the fall. This whole
How is it
situation,
an accident?
so what he did, this wasn't his first time, but the first time he did it, he had a wife and he gets them to get insurance. And this time they were like, he told her they were driving. He's like, oh, there's a problem with the car or something like that. And so he made her like get under the car to look for her. He said, oh, because she's smaller or something like that. And he had it on like some those lifter things, and then he just
Mm-hmm.
dropped it on her,
No
and she
more.
got yeah. And so he had already done this to this wife. He had like done this. This is the second time he tried to accidentally kill her. But the thing is, this time he did it on those the national parks. And when you do something illegal on national parks, it becomes a federal crime. And that's how he got caught up. Because when he was just doing it locally with the police and stuff, he was getting away with it. Nobody was doing a hard
Mm.
investigation because it was like, oh, it's an accident. But also, we know that the police are a lot of them are tarot. National parks, now you're dealing with Raphael beyond those parks. So they were like, because it stood out to the park ranger that he told the park ranger that that it was some turkeys down there that she was looking at, and he knew there was no turkeys at that park.
Turkeys.
Yeah, like some wild turkeys that she wanted to go look at. He had some lie that I think the park ranger probably was like Raphael or somebody that's a little bit like knowing what.
Knowledgeable, like, yeah, turkeys. This is sounding suspicious.
Right. Something's off right now. And so then they also, when they did her autopsy, she wasn't dead immediately upon the fall. Like he let her bleed out essentially. But he also was the one that called after she failed to tell the police. He did that the first time too. Like he called, told the police, all that stuff. Yeah. And
And no
so
one was putting it together.
this is the second time. The first one, nobody put it together because like an accident with the car and it was like nothing. The second time, the only reason why he really got caught up was because it became a federal crime. Because like when you know that the police are tarot, they know what's going on. So him getting involved like with this way, they ended up like going hard on him. And he was
Mm,
like, he had no idea. And what's crazy because he planned this accident out. So just in general, any accidental death or people that play in this accident stuff, we're talking about tarot
mm,
accidents. Princess Diana died like that too.
yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people die like that in these crazy accidents. Mark Bolan died in a car accident. So many people have died from accidents.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it for sure is. But sorry, that story stood out to me in my head because I never forgot about that dude. I'm like, this dude's crazy.
Hmm.
Marrying women to get the life insurance money, and they do love those insurance policies.
Yeah, I'm thinking like plastic surgery.
Oh yeah.
Cause it makes me think about. It just came to me when I was thinking about and Clueless. Cher says her mom passed away. She has a big picture of her on the wall. She's like, "Yeah, that's my mom. I never met her, but she passed away from a freak accident of a routine liposuction." And then I was just thinking about that. You know, you sent me that video about the BBLs and all that. And when I was talking like today about how, yeah, that is actually a dangerous procedure. And a lot of people have passed away from like, just these random kind of like a freak accident, I would call it,
Oh yeah,
from like getting surgery.
like Jackie O, DC Young Fly's
Yeah,
ex girlfriend. She passed away from a BBL. People were like, well, how come? Like he said, like he was like, why do all these other girls have it and they're okay, and she passed away? So
exactly.
definitely some tarot stuff. Like a surgeon had to be tarot, and that's what's crazy is that like we're participating with them and we have no idea. That's why people are scared of the cops. Sandra Bland, how many like there's because you're just like you don't know if you're gonna be getting with some tarot and they're gonna try to freak accident you or it's like it's a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are scared of the hospitals too because sometimes they work in those hospitals and cause those freak accidents.
Right. That's another one.
It's like there is no final destination. Y'all motherfuckers is the final destination trying to come after us. Like they're trying to make final destination happen in our lives. They're the spirit and they're doing it in the 3D. Like he literally like put the car on his wife. Like they're
That's
doing it in this realm, like just doing it. That
mm-mm.
that stage design for the Travis Scott concert was the perfect one. He had the upside down cross and two like places where you couldn't move.
What?
Like this the setup of the stage. They show the stage design and they have somebody else on the documentary show pretty much
Like
how
it was blocked off?
what
It was blocked off?
yeah like the design. I'll find a video on that right now. One second. Going. What'd you say, Dree?
I said, don't find a video.
Yeah, the stage design.
It's too morbid. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
first and foremost, this I'll see you on the other side when you get to the show.
I think that guy mentioned in his video too. Did you roll his clip? I don't know if you played his clip
Mm,
yet. No.
I'll play it. Which one is it?
I'm not too sure, but I think that was him. He mentioned that he was there at the show, and then person I think ran on the stage, or something happened at some point with someone trying to alert what was going on. I think they had some person that they was like floating trying to get out, to get them help. And he was saying something about he stopped and he just started humming. Did you catch that?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I think that happened then. I was like,
Oh, I'll show that too. And no, and that
what?
person was one of the victims in this documentary. He was already dead then. And you could see him
Oh,
being dead. Like when you actually look at the clip of him being carried across, he's not alive.
yeah, that's what that guy was saying, that he wasn't, the guy looked like he was just like floating, like it was in no life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was one of the victims in the. I mean, I don't think I saw that clip, to be honest with you. Probably when it
And that
first.
victim was Michael as well.
Oh, that was the guy. I think his name was Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. Rudolfo.
Mm.
Let me see. Sorry, guys, I'm not laughing. I was just thinking about something really, really crazy as we're talking about this. Like I was thinking about this guy's name's Harold and another Harold I knew that did something crazy. It's just like sometimes they all related too.
Mm.
And then what was scaring me was like the Harold guy looks just like somebody I did theater with back in the day, and I'm like, damn, it's some paid actors.
No, it gets too
It
much.
gets too much when you start looking at them, and you're like, I know I've actually hung out with this person. I used to do theater with them.
Mm-mm. That's the creepy part for sure.
Yeah. You be like so happy to be saved because it's always so close with these spirits. It's always so close. Let me just pull this in. Oh, oops. Hold on. I'm first gonna grab the set design and then um we'll show the bodyguard video where he talks about that. Okay. So, and this is for people who haven't watched the documentary. If you watch the documentary, you might need it, not even need to you watch this part. Okay. So essentially, there was like two stages this time for this concert, and what had happened during this concert was like it wasn't two stages with separate shows. Like at some festivals, like Coachella or whatever you've been to, have like multiple shows going on at once. When Travis came on, it was the only thing going on. So the one stage was to like this side, and then Travis was in the middle. So essentially, this created this death trap that we see here because when the show starts, people are already here, but now you got thousands of people like you see here. Hold on, let me see, make sure I can see it. Okay, now you had like thousands of people coming in on this side, and this is where people um, were dying at, was in that little pit. And even when they show images of the screen at Astro World, you can see that like in the other sections, people have like their phones up, and in that section where people were dying, there was no like phones being held up. But essentially, that's how the pressure got created. And also, it's the left hand side, right? From where I'm seeing, it's like the left side from the outer view. And also, we see the downward cross.
Mm.
But for people to not like, everybody knows this is a ritual. It's just demons are the ones trying to pretend it's not because they don't want to have a bad image. Because when we even get to the show, you got people saying there was frequencies put out before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the frequencies of where he lives at. So Earth is where we're like located right now, but that's not where our spirit's located. His spirit is located. Those are the sounds and frequencies that Travis hears. So he's at his location in hell. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm keeping it rolling only because sometimes when I pause it, Dreek has something to say, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, add that to the show, Dreek.
2 cents.
Yeah, add your 2 cents in, Dreek. Get your 2 cents on. Hold on. You're back. What do you say, Drake?
I have not been to a concert, and yeah, I'm definitely not interested in going to one, especially
Yeah.
now.
I've been to them my whole life because my parents performed and I performed as a kid and I've done a lot of shows. Um, I think concerts, I think can be normal and fun for the most part. But in this era where it's like mostly demons performing, I haven't been
Mm-hmm.
to any of their shows. I've actually only been to like shows as an adult, being backstage or being a performer. I haven't been to any as like a full audience guest because I don't really care for these artists. Like even little Uzi says when he gets on stage, y'all know y'all in hell.
Yeah, I seen those clips.
Like
I'm like,
they let you know, like, and that's going to be the last part where we're going to talk about during this. Okay, wait one second. I'm pulling this up right now. These frequencies are so creepy. It also kind of sounds like cop cars to me. Tell me if you
mm.
guys get that vibe when you hear the frequencies they put out before the show. Okay, here we're gonna go share screen. Boop. Now I'm gonna pull it here. Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, it does.
It also, you know what it also sounds like to me? Ambulances.
Mm-hmm.
Ambulances definitely had to arrive. So we know all those are like, now we can know that those sounds are very demonic, like, and very scary sounds, right? The ambulance. Like, you know what they hear, like, I think all angels probably dream of like dying in peace, like in your bed asleep, like not in the ambulance, not in these like freakish things where like you have to be rushed to the hospital.
Mm.
Also being rushed to the hospital, all these like sirens and horns, it reminds me of like, I don't know what movie it was where it's like demons and like they blow those horns. Is it Lord of the Rings when they pull up to the fight and they're like boom, like they blow that big horn?
Probably.
Yeah, I think like in the Twin Towers. Is that what it is? The Twin Towers? Twin Towers. Towers beginning fight scene. Hopefully it is. Twin Towers battle. Cuz it's horns. And you know like in heaven it's like bells. Like we always chime in the bells.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I remember as a kid, my grandma had these little bells, and I used to jingle them to go like for dinner. I would like jingle for dinner time. um, I'm curious what the people actually say in the comments. Let me see. Let me see if I can pop. Wait. Okay. Comments. Calm before the storm. This few seconds is literally making my stomach feel so unsettled. Definitely want everyone in a trance. It's funny because this
Mm.
don't put me in a trance. It's too creepy. Yes, okay. People are saying these high frequencies are supposed to make you nervous, anxious, and stressed out. So now we have another decode. Oh, oops. Hold on. 1 second. I'm supposed to have this here. I'm reading here. I don't know if you guys can see down here, but essentially it's a whole other decode, which is that anxiety, stress, and all those things are definitely things that they have created, right? Because
Yeah.
they're panicking, anxiety, stress, all those things that are very harmful for your body and also for your spirit. Just things that keep you scared. You're not supposed to be scared of anything. You're supposed to always be like in a state of like feeling secure and confident. And being scared is like a version of being insecure. It's like, what are you scared about?
Mm.
Thinking somebody's gonna get you. I mean, there are those types of like creepy demons that are doing those things though, like that are like haunting people, and it's just it's just too deep. Anyways, I heard that type of demonic horn from that. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is is just the design and how he used all of those very demonic images
Mm-hmm.
to hold on, let me see. He used these very demonic images, and I'm gonna use this other girl on TikTok. She broke this down. I'm adding people because sharing is caring. You know, let's add more angels to the mix. Okay. So essentially, to me, the painting that he's referencing with his face being, he's referencing a painting with like the Astro World artwork, which is the face and the big mouth. That's actually a depiction of hell. And I was in the art history as like when I was in high school. One of my favorite classes. I actually did really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like learning about all these artists that did all these like depictions of hell, and I was just so confused at like why people were into this and like what the thing is. It just felt so eerie and off putting to me. And this person here is going to first break down that, and then I'll go into the art. So let's watch this. Okay.
I want to talk about these weird frequencies that people keep posting videos of and reporting that they were hearing leading up to Travis's set at Astro World. So I'm going to show you two videos of examples of what these frequencies sounded like. I don't know about you, but that freaked me out listening to. And I wasn't even there. So I can't imagine how creepy that would have been to hear in person, because it sounds like it's blaring through the speakers. You can't really hear anything other than that. So what was that? Why? It's weird. It's scary. It gives you like an eerie feeling. And I don't care. He says like, oh, it's just like the vibe.
I
That
actually
is
thought she was talking about the artwork in this one, so I'm sorry it's about the things again, but um right. Aleister Crowley. Obviously he has the portal and the other side.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I could tell I'm cutting out because they don't want me talking about this.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, let me just exit this out. You can hear me now? Mm. Give me, are we good?
Say something?
I had to take that artwork off my screen only because it started fucking with the camera. And this happens a lot when you start talking about big demons. I mentioned Aleister Crowley and he didn't like that.
Mm.
Essentially, in that image with that's why I'm not bringing up a lot of these images, guys, because these images are also their energy and I don't want them to like mess with our show too much. But essentially, the main portal and the hands, like this with the pyramids, the eyes. Okay. So we know that tarot are fallen Uriels that want to be like Michael. So this is like a magic show. Talk about the Michael family. It's the magic of Michael. This is their version of the magic. And I actually watched this with a friend, and they brought up Michael Jackson too, like about people passing out at Michael Jackson concerts, and like people are
Mm-hmm.
passing out from happiness and excitement. And here, people are passing out from obviously they're not just they're dying from anxiety, like they're literally screaming from anxiety, not from excitement. So we know the opposite of anxiety now is excitement. So when you're in a more of a heavenly state, you're excited about something. You're looking forward to the future versus demons keeps you in these low states and you're being scared of the future. Like you don't want to age. You're scared of everything that could happen. But definitely I'm going to add some other art because like I said, the image that he's using is the heroine of hell and it's an old art piece. Let me see. So we're going to pull this up. And look, it didn't even want to pull up. That's crazy. Okay, here it goes. You see it? See, they keep playing these games. So you see up here the big mouth, Geronius Bosch, and this was in 1450 to 1516. They don't know the exact time, but it's very dark and horrifying with many small things happening. It has some realistic elements, and it's supposed to depict the harrowing of hell, which is explained as the triumphant descent of Christ into hell between the time of his crucifixion and his resurrection, when he brought salvation to all the righteous who had died since the beginning of the world. This is also about the rapture.
Mm.
So I guess this is like some type of moment in hell before the rapture. But for me, what I just always look at this is like so much weird, like this guy's upside down. People are over it, just chaos and destruction, and it just looks gross. Like there's a
Yeah, I
fire
don't like
here. Yeah, it's just like ew. Like who would want to hang that in their wall?
it. Mm-mm.
Like not interested in that piece of art. But Travis is, and so that means he's related to those spirits that have created that, because that was like the perfect image for him to do this.
Mm.
And I think people that don't know much about like the history of these types of things, they probably just thought like, oh, it's just like they thought he came up with that design. It's like, no, he's referencing his old family from before.
Mm.
Um, yeah, the next thing that I think what I want to talk about was gonna be, there's so many, Drake. I'm in our inbox. We mean Drake has shared so many videos on these clips, but we talked about him not being canceled when all these angels constantly get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not getting canceled because this was the energy for him. He just collected a lot of energy doing this. So it's crazy because that's how you know canceling is just something for angels. It's not, doesn't really work on demons, because angels like go when people don't like them, they shut up, they hide themselves. Like what is he doing? And also, like, my whole thing is people get canceled for doing things like all types of bad things. But like this is actually the worst thing you could do. Like you tortured people for like an hour or two. Like you brought them to their
It didn't
death.
even stop.
It didn't even stop. You brought them to their death and tortured them. Like people were dying, being tortured, like yelling, screaming for help, could not breathe, suffocated them. And you got people that have like gotten canceled for saying the bad words, making bad jokes, cheating, having a baby, all kinds of things that, like, I'm not saying these things are excusable, but it's like people pull out this moral book on all these things except the worst possible things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just letting you know this cancel culture stuff is stupid and people don't need to be canceled, because if Travis Scott's not canceled, why should you cancel anybody?
Exactly.
It's like Diddy's not going to get canceled. Nobody's getting canceled. I also thought it was interesting that he had an early mixtape called Owl Pharaoh. We know the owl spirit is very demonic. I mean, he's linked in to the artwork side of his demonic family. So, like the imagery, like the hell stuff. And it's interesting to me because, like, we just saw Rock Nation isn't doing that well financially, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and I think it's because they're not pushing a strong demonic image the way they were when they were on top. Like when Jay-Z was on top, he was doing the Aleister Crowley stuff. He was like pushing all that more. I feel like they still push it, but I feel like when they go harder, they definitely end up with way more of a like momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because when we talk about these Beyonce shows, like we know Beyonce is demonic, but there's no imagery that everybody's talking about. When they actually go full throttle into being demons, they actually do better. Which is like not, it seems like it's backwards, but it's like the more truthful you are to like your purpose and what kind of spirit you have, the more you get. Um, definitely. Anything you want to talk about, Drake, before I pull up another video?
I think you pretty much have hit every point. I mean, definitely the part about him not being canceled or just people continuing to go, because that actually, I didn't realize it's been a while since that happened. And you were telling me he actually had a really big show last year. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't get why people continue to go. But I mean, I guess they don't have nothing else to do. And then a lot of these kids, they're young, so I guess they don't see it that way or whatever reason. I don't know.
See, I just thought it's his own spirit family supporting him, but it has to be
Mm,
people outside of that because, like, Beyonce is not even doing that well, and it's just her spirit family. So maybe it's his spirit family and Uriel going.
mm, maybe.
And then I know he did like spots in Europe, and that was huge for them. So like maybe it's like that distance between Europe and here. And I know Europe has like I don't really know why people are supporting it still too. I'm trying to wrap my head around that myself. But it's like certain things you can't wrap your mind around because when you see people doing something that's that demonic, you would just think, okay, like this not only should we not support this has to be the opposite of support. We have to like come together to decide this people not get canceled, but that this is a person that this is what you
Should
get when you
support this.
yeah, this is something I want to be a part of. So I'm this person doesn't deserve people's hard earned money. Let's see if we can find the image of Rudy and Travis. But in the meantime, I want to pull up this video Drika sent me today about like listening to what people tell you when they tell you about who they are.
About the video.
What do you say?
Oh, okay.
About to get this mango monster. And then I read the back of it and it says, following Halloween each year, friends and family gather together for this is the one that's got the skeletons on it from the uh, parade, the thing that they do in Mexico, the Day of the Dead. But it says, it's made with marigolds, mysticism, and memories combined with food and drink to entice the souls of the departed to join the party. That's what the that is. And it says Mango Loco is a heavenly blend of exotic juices certain to attract even the most stubborn spirit. Crazy good taste with just enough of that monster magic to keep the party going for days. I'm putting this one back. Man. Right?
Oh my god. It's a good one.
Right.
Literally, I
Right.
didn't even see the last part he said. That's a good one. Because, yeah, those drinks, we talked about that a long time ago. People tell you who they are and what's going on, but we don't take it serious.
Yeah, because we're taught that we're all humans down here and this and that. So you just think, oh, they're being like silly.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes we don't even take ourselves serious. Like we get clear downloads from heaven and stuff, and you just take it as like not a big
A
deal.
joke. I always do that.
Yeah, like I don't think people are even and even that demon that wrote that on that bottle, they might have just thought it was some like marketing thing. Like they're not nobody here is fully conscious. They're just bringing down who they are into this dimension. So it's like, yeah, but that's a great example because you buy things all the time that says crazy stuff. And you're like, oh, no big deal, but it is a big deal. There's several things we could end the show on. We could show the clip of the crowd crush with Diddy. We could show the bodyguard speaking.
Do they actually have a clip of that?
No, 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 no. Like that one girl I sent you, and she was breaking down like what had happened.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but maybe we could just show the bodyguard since he was actually there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these people that actually talk about, you guys go online and watch different people actually talk about their experience at Astro World, because people that go, oh, we gotta talk about this girl. Yeah, we gotta talk about this girl. How did I forget? I'm in our DMs now, scrolling up. So we're gonna talk about this girl next. Okay. So this demon posted pretty much, she posted that she was in the documentary, because there's a picture when Rudy got to Astro World. It took a photo and this spirit was in it. So let's watch. Okay. 1 second. It's also crazy that now that sound is being used to talk about all these people that died, like these creepy sounds. Like, you already have the music for a horror movie, because it was a horror movie on you. Let's get into it. Okay, that's Rudy, who passed away. He's Michael as well. I want you guys to look at her here and look at her in the picture. She told on herself, and she didn't even know she told on herself right here. Demons don't even know they be telling on themselves. I'm gonna get close to it. Okay. So this is what I always tell people: pictures don't lie. Videos can lie, but pictures don't. Pictures always capture spirits. Everybody knows that. Pictures capture so much more because it's a still image. Videos aren't as good with seeing spirits as regular pictures to me. When I want to look at spirits, I always use pictures. Pictures never lie. And when I saw this photo and she zoomed in on her face, I'm like, who is that? And I'm like, Drika, do you know who this is? That's the first thing I sent. I said, Drika, who do you see right here? Drika, tell him who you see.
Wait, you mean the other person we were talking about?
Yeah, you can just say it on here.
Wait, who? Because I think it was several people.
Okay, well, the first person that you said it looked like to you.
I forgot. Was it Armand?
Yep. If you guys can see this image, she looks like Armand Wiggins even more than she looks like herself.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew me and Drika had been talking about Armand Wiggins being tarot for a while. It's kind of, he also looks like CeeLo Green, and that also goes into Diddy. But you can see his facial expression and hear him get in here, get in here. You can literally see it in this image. And hopefully you guys can grab this clip and zoom in on it so you can see what I'm talking about. This is his expression, which is very interesting, because when we get to her actual here, she's very much dead usually on her page. And then when you go to her page, her whole page is pretty much dedicated to Travis Scott. So this is one of his strongest demons. So she's the same demon as him, and she's one of the strongest virtues from over there. So she's, this is also calculated, you guys. I'm trying to get you guys to understand. It gets that deep. Okay. Her being there at his photo, you about to die and you got his strongest soldier next to you, his biggest fan. There's no odds in these type of things, no coincidences. She's a part of it too, because they're looking for souls and things like that as well. So you have to understand. What do you say?
I was thinking about something just now.
Yeah, because it could be anybody in there. You have his biggest supporter in your thing. Her whole page was dedicated to him. Even before that, she has all his merch. She's his biggest demon in hell that supports this, that works with him. Okay, spiritually. So you have to understand that too, that they're backing and supporting this. This is why people were being trampled on. They weren't being helped, because this is a part of what they do as a family.
I don't know if it's just me. We can cut this out if it's not, but in that clip, it almost looked like when you still shot it, the clip right there, it was reminding me of like when people's eyes bulge, like they come out. We see those depictions. That
Oh.
girl, you sent me her video where she was speaking about like the racist spirit, and they were using Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks as reference.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like reminding me of that too. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, the
Something
bulging
with the
eyes.
eyes, and then also I don't know if they're tarot or not, but that band, or I know it's coming out a year young, but Gorillas.
You know what's weird? I thought originally they were demons, but I wasn't sure if it's demons or if it's tarot. So I hadn't seen their face, just their depictions. But it reminds I don't know if that's the Uriel family or the tarot family. I'd actually have to look. But,
Yeah,
but originally I thought it was demons.
yeah, because I think it's just like cartoon characters or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, it could be Uriel. That's why I'm confused
Yeah,
at.
that's why I know that it's coming from over there, but I don't know
Yeah,
something
I don't
like
get deep into Halloween Town, y'all. 'Cause once it gets like too weird, like once the Uriel starts shaving off their head, I'm like, all right, I gotta tune out. Like this is getting too deep. So I
Mm-mm.
I will do some research on gorillas because that's came up before these kids that I worked with at the school. They like I called them that. Like you guys are like gorillas. Like you guys look like those like type of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mario Judah. I don't know. It's not it's so much because like the families are so close to the demons, so I know that's from the
Mm-hmm.
same branch, same element. Now you know what it reminded me of, and I'm going to pull it back up here. Like Armand always does that face, that's why it's so, and that's his face when he's like, knowing people are talking, like he's like kind of saying people are stupid. I don't know, he uses that face a lot when he's like kind of talking down on people and he's irritated. So her spirit was irritated here. But you know what it reminded me of? I'm curious if anybody else sees this. That magic mirror face, that like um the face of that they use for drama and theater. In like Maleficent, which like mirror, mirror on the wall, and she talks to that
Mm.
image.
Oh yeah, and this is like a hollow figure.
Yeah, does it look like that to you a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mirror on the wall. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now because you can actually see it, and it looks just like that. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. Take this one down. I almost said we are the world, we are the children.
Yeah, we need that right now.
Yeah, right. MJ came through with a little bit of a okay. Okay. You see it here?
Yeah, that's also that what do they use that for? Yin and yang type of face.
Oh, the theater faces. I was saying like
Mm-hmm.
the theater, the drama faces,
Mm-hmm.
faces of theater. So we know that's all the same. The spirit. Oh, that's that spirit. What is that called? The spirit that watches you. People always talk about the lurking spirit. What's that spirit called, Rika? Like in Christian discourse, where they're like, there's a spirit that like
Monitoring.
monitoring spirit. Because this reminds me of like this character is like a monitoring spirit. It's letting her know, it's watching everything and letting her know like who is the fairest of them all. So essentially she's a big demon and she wants to make sure she's on top, so she contacts the monitoring spirit who's watching everybody. So they're the monitoring spirit, they're the stalkers, and that was the monitoring spirit that jumped through her to see him, and she was irritated looking at him before he dies. You know what I'm trying to say? So the monitoring spirit, that's how they're able to kill all these people, because they can, that monitoring spirit can jump through all these people.
Mm-hmm.
She's
That's
clearly
definitely
a part of
creepy.
their family though too. Like it's kind of like, okay, when I talk about like, for example, where Archangel Michael, right? There's moments with Michael Jackson where sometimes you can start to see the father jump through him. with certain people that's high, like there's certain spirits that is you, like as a being, and there's certain times where it's like you kind of get into this space where you're like, oh, that's not just you there. There's something else like coming through you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Whitney Houston, sometimes when she's singing, you really feel the Father's presence. I'm just using as an example. So the monitoring spirit, I don't know if that's this. I know this girl is a tarot spirit, but that spirit is even bigger than just her. That's like one of their strongest assets they use in that family to do these sacrifices and to know who's who. Like that whole spirit is so demonic because it's calculating who you are. It wants to know your rank. It wants to know your goals. It wants to know where you're going. And then it wants to like tell you. So when they're pulling tarot cards, that's the monitoring spirit they're using. And the monitoring spirit is jumping through all these different people through their lineage to get the information. It can jump through anybody. But some people
Mm.
have it more. Like I know Armand is from that lineage where he's a part of the monitoring spirit. And that's why he does the new stuff because he's monitoring everything that's going on. So he's a version of a monitoring spirit. What?
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Mm.
like, and yeah, that's a really bad spirit. Have anybody ever felt like they've had the monitoring spirit on them? Oh, okay. So this is what people say the monitoring spirit is. They believe, I'm reading it right here on Google, a belief in demonic entities that observe, gather information, and potentially influence individuals, group, or situations. This concept isn't explicitly defined in the Bible, but is derived from interpretations of passages describing demonic activity in spiritual warfare. These spirits are thought to monitor believers, gather intelligence on their lives, and potentially hinder their progress or cause harm. So when you're it's so bad because that's the spirit that that was watching Leah, that's watching Selena, that's watching all these people and seeing them come up and telling people, and then people going out to kill them. The monitoring spirit is the one that's trying to assess where you're headed so it can know if you're a threat or not. And if
Mm.
the monitoring spirit sees you as a threat, then it tells somebody that will go and kill you. World,
Mm.
or it can mean like your career, like my internet's taking off again. It can mean your career, or it could be both. We have Leah that both are passed away. Um, or it could be or like drug, like how like Britney's like gone, like she's like not really there. So the monitoring
Mm-hmm.
spirit will tell and form entities that are more a part of the killing spree of these lineages. So the monitoring spirit is very, very dangerous. And if he would have looked at that photo and seen, was like, whoo, that was too much because you could see it on her. She had that spirit that jumped through her in that photo. And now we know what it looks like. Armand does it all the time on his channel. So if you want to see what that face is, look at it on other people. Oh my God, Drika's going in and out now. And my bar is back to 1.
Yeah, you're blurry.
Yeah. I just heard like some, yep. Am I back to normal or no?
Somewhat. You're still a little foggy, but I think you're pretty good for the most part. Are you moving? No.
Mm-mm.
So you like
Yeah.
okay.
They're upset. You
I
can hear
need
me
a
now?
drink of water. I can hear you.
Well, now you're gone. And take all this stuff down about the monitoring spirit. You see, every time we start talking about them, what happens, you guys? They don't like it. It's very dangerous. That monitoring spirit is something not. So always check your surroundings. And like, I watched Armand because of the Diddy trial, and like sometimes, like I said, to get information, those monitoring spirits have all the info. Because that was interesting too, like that he actually went to the trial. So that's a great example of a monitoring spirit. He's going there and getting the information. And he does do that on his channel a lot too, where he'll be like comparing the different rap artists, like kind of stacking them up against each other and saying like, okay, this is who's who, like do, 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 do. So the monitoring spirit is doing the person that's calculating all these things and then informing the evil witches that go out on the hunt.
You know, this kind of reminds me of the video that I sent you a few days ago of where they were like kind of just doing those like those spiritual breakdown videos where they show what's happening in the spiritual realm around you in your day-to-day life. And they were showcasing the one where they were talking about rank and how demons can see you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That
Wish
kind
you
of
could pull that
reminds
up.
me.
I know it's in here.
And I was like, what? How do they know all that?
How far back was that, you think?
That was just recently. It was probably just a few days ago.
This is on Tuesday. I'm at Tuesday. You think it's before Tuesday?
Today is Thursday. Possible. Maybe
Yes.
Monday.
But I do like knowing that Armand's a monitoring spirit. He's very grounded. So this is why I think sometimes they can not know certain things because it's very grounded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see why somebody like Taylor Swift would pass his eyes. So now we know who we're dealing with. It's Armand. He's the one that's monitoring this stuff. He's one of the main ones. So it's like he's very grounded and logical. So I could see how he could pass up a lot of different stuff. You know, he had like a lot of tarot and spiritual stuff on his page too at one point. But like he's like now that I know it's him, that he's like one of those spirits, it's so easy to see like how they miss out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You can see how they're moving.
Yeah, because it's very grounded. Like he's not crazy at all. He's very logical. He's very much like this is who's who. This is who the girls are. This is what's going on. Like he's really getting up close to stuff and really getting the information for his family to do their thing. My cat's going crazy. She wants to get out of here right now. She's like crying.
I'm with her. I'm like, let's wrap this up now.
Right. I'm trying to find the video you sent me on the rank. Like demons know your rank. Lorraine Warren. Is this like the resurfaced clip of Lauren Sanchez? Is that after that or before that?
Oh, I think that's definitely before that.
Okay, because I'm at the facelifts now. Okay, so it's probably before. Yeah, I think it was before all this.
Yeah. That was just like yesterday. I think it was probably like Monday.
Okay, yeah. Okay. You're right. Because I was about to scroll up when I got here. Dang, okay. Stay alert, watch out for your. He sent me this thing. It says, stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around. Oh, right here. This is it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. This is something you just sent me. The devil, he prowls around looking for someone to devour. That's crazy. You were sending me that before all of that. And we were talking about the other girl who just got unalived by her husband.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much tea in here. Let me see if we can find it. I really want to find it, but if not, essentially in this video he was just talking about how they know your ranks. They know like all type of stuff about you. And they do. You know, it's interesting like knowing a monitoring spirit and like seeing it in person because it doesn't seem as creepy as it is. But it's like it is scary if they like how she looked irritated. It's a very irritated spirit. Like it's irritated fast. I do get that vibe. But yeah. They're still working for, you know, now I feel like now I'm all the way at Sunday with the guy that reminded me of Ronnie and the braids you sent me. I guess it doesn't want to come up.
It might be around there. That sounds about right.
Is it above it, you think?
Probably.
That's crazy. Yeah, and it's great to know that there's no monitoring spirit watching me. I don't feel the presence of one. To be honest, I don't really feel the presence of a monitoring spirit around me because I'm not giving them nothing to monitor. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of be out there to get that spirit on you a little bit.
Mm. You know, this is interesting because I have some like freaking firework just went off, but this reminds me because I have a family member that's always like they don't like to post on the internet because it exposes you too much, puts you out there, and that kind of makes sense because once you're like kind of like posting, you're out there. I guess you can attract those kind of spirits.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely, and I think especially if you're doing it in the very typical way, I know that the Michael family, we do attract that spirit a lot because, like, just like at my last job, I mean, I had so many monitoring spirits, just like watching me, want to know everything about me, finding my channels. But in this world, like on the internet, I don't believe a lot of people have found my channel. I believe I'm kind of unseen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe I have the veil over me. I believe I'm like, and that's why sometimes you're protected. You're not being seen. You're being hidden because you don't want that monitoring spirit on you. You
Mm-hmm.
want it to happen when it's out of their hands. It's a very dangerous spirit because they're reporting to some real killers. And they're making that call like, yeah, we got a bitch way fairer than you. And it's crazy because Armand did say like Cardi B's more popping than Nicki. Like they're very upfront about what's going on to their people. And that's how you get killed. You know what I mean? Like they're very upfront. Like the monitoring spirit is like how that mirror on the wall is. Like no, you're not the fairest.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see Snow White out there. Like, bitch, please. You know what I mean? That's how our mom would even tell her. Like, bitch, please. You see Snow White out there. Snow White's out there getting her thing in. Like, you think the prince come on. You know what I mean? Like, wake up. Like, the monitoring spirit gonna tell you exactly how it is and what's going on.
Terrible.
And you know when Armand's telling you, now they really getting heated because you know how he's saying it to him. He's giving it to him just like some straight tea. Like, you know, y'all know y'all not hot. You know what I mean?
Not nice, not kind.
Right. It's crazy. But yeah, Drika's right. That's why a lot of people don't want to put their relationships out online because the monitoring spirits will try to tear it
Mm.
down, or tear things down. But when you now that's where we get into
This also
controversy.
must be like the evil eye that people are talking about.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely is the evil eye. It's funny because I was thinking about that too, the evil eye. But it's like I don't feel like that evil eye thing protects you from it because I feel like that's a part of their stuff too.
Yeah, I remember that was pushed like in some places. I know they believe in that, but now knowing this, we know that that's. Mm-mm.
And it's hard because like we always say like, oh, we're divinely protected. The best way to protect yourself from the monitoring spirit is by not being out there, like but you have to go out there, right? Because like what could have Aaliyah have done? What could have Selena, like there's so many things people say we could do, but like I wish we could say, oh, we're so divinely protected. Clearly we're not. Look at Princess Diana, look at MLK. We're only so protected. Like we have to work hard to stay protected and listen to all the things and look at the photo. Like, Rudy took that photo with his friends. They're not looking in the back like, oh shit, it's a monitoring spirit behind us. We got to get the fuck
Mm-mm.
out. It's dangerous, y'all. But
Yes.
the thing with the monitoring the spirit, it's only reporting what's going on right now. And I've talked about this with tarots a lot, is they're very current. If you're not the hottest thing on the block, they don't care. If you're not like making any noise, they only care about it if it's something that's impacting their space or their thing going on. but best believe they're looking for what's going on. So hopefully Diddy keeps Armand busy so we don't got to worry about the monitoring spirit reporting back to the higher ups and telling them they're not the fairest of them all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm.
But
Well, that has been a crazy video.
yeah, and I wanted to shout out this last the bodyguard from Astro World. I think he's doing a great job on social media, is like posting all of like posting everything up about it. And I didn't really get to like show his clip, but I referenced him a bunch. He
Mm-hmm.
talks about it really good. So I just wanted to show his page really fast before we close out, just so if you guys do want to go like find more clips, I'll also attach different people and the clips we used in the links here so you guys can see it for yourself. Um, Once again, you don't really have to be scared because once you know the monitoring spirit is just Armand Wiggins, it's like it's not that scary. You know what I mean? A lot of people actually like that spirit because it's very much in the know and knows what's going on. But the scary part is who they telling to the people and the people up there. That's gonna what they're gonna do with that information. You know when they
Mm-mm.
say like do with that information what you will. It's like
Yeah.
they getting that
Like,
information.
no.
Don't do with it what you will, please.
Mm-mm.
The demons get that information. Like, yeah, we got to kill some people. But the monitoring spirit is very dangerous when you're at something that's a ritual because the monitoring spirit at that point is looking for the top people to take out.
Mm-mm.
And those were the top people. So it will guide you to go stand in the bad section. It guided you. Let me pull up this guy's page, and that will be it for the evening. And if you go to that other girl's page that I showed you how that was is the works with the monitoring spirit too, um, you'll see that in her other video she looks very very dead. And just to know that they were at a concert with the monitoring spirit there working for them, like so many demons. The Grim Reaper was there. It was like that whole concert had every top demon in the astral realm. And that was the other last decode too, is it's called Astro World. And if you know Astral, look up Astral Assassin on TikTok. She always breaking down the decodes. Going into anywhere with astral or dream, these have to be serious because astro, like kind of like how Selena died after the Astrodome. The astro is always talking about the astral realm. So when if you're going to that, that's a portal to the astral realm. That means everybody was there for blood. But I can't find this video, but I will link all the TikToks of all these different people. Dang, I really wanted to find it really fast just to show his face because I think he did such a good job on his.
Well, I sent you several
I
recently. I think
know.
that was just yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I'm so far up right now.
You want me to try to find
I
it?
found him. I found him.
Oh, I was gonna say it. Try to find it.
And this is it right here, you guys. Only one certified. Go see what
Oh
he had to
yeah,
say. He had a lot to say. I like the part two because it gets deeper into it.
yeah. His videos was good.
I'm just gonna show it here, like the actual image of it, and then we can cancel out.
Everybody been waiting for. I want to start off by saying condolences to the families and the victims.
And yeah, that's the last thing. I feel like I didn't say condolences to the families as well. And
Yeah.
obviously, we talked about it. I just want to say my condolences to the family of all of the people that have been, deceased from this, that were traumatized from this, and that also had no idea what they were participating with. Like
Same.
people that were just scorned from this and traumatized from this. I'm so sorry you guys had to actually experience hell. Nobody deserves that. And, hopefully this can open your eyes to getting a better spiritual understanding of the world so you can protect yourself more
Mm-hmm.
and just have a better overall life. Because that's the goal of this channel, is to help you guys enjoy life and be able to have a better life by having better spiritual discernment. And some people are gifted with discernment like Drika, and a lot of people just don't know. So they just don't even think things are that deep, Drika is a spiritual discernment gift, but a lot of people, majority of people just don't. They just like, oh, it's a concert, like.
Tried.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give you guys the tools to have a strong discernment. So
Yes.
watch what you support. You know, probably shouldn't support Armand Wiggins.
I would not.
I would not.
They've. I
He's
know a
being
lot of people have
exposed.
seen the clips online, keeping up with this case, but I mean, let's wash our hands now.
Yeah. You know, that's a prime example too. Like Diddy's his spirit family, so he's getting very famous for reporting this case, and he's doing a
Mm-hmm.
great job. But it's like it's because it's attached to his family, it's able to work better for him.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like when I would do impressions of certain celebrities because like I was doing a lot of comedy and like a lot of auditions when you do impressions, I would never get any like anything from it, even though I can do impersonations perfect. People would always encourage me to do impersonations, but unless you're impersonating your own family, nobody cares.
Yeah.
So he's able to benefit off this Diddy situation because it's his family. So at least they're still able to harness energy from it. Outside of that, I would not pay attention to these monitoring spirits because it's dangerous who they work for. They themselves is like, yeah, they might not be, but they don't have to do it. They're doing the dirty work too, though, because he had to look for the spirits to take out for that party. So they're doing the dirty work too, but it's not as like they're not the Grim Reaper, but they're all a part of it. So it's just better if you're an angel just to stay away from all this because
Yeah.
it could kill you. It's not worth your death. It really isn't. And once they know who you are, it's interesting too because I
Stay
know Armand.
protected.
Yes, I know Armand doesn't really probably even care about Taylor Swift. So I think that's a great example. It's like she's just flying off the radar. It's way better when they don't care about what you do and things like that. So yeah, protect yourself. You know, watch what you support, and it's so interesting.
If you know better, then do better. That's what I would say.
And you know
Because a lot
what's
of people didn't know, but now that it's out here, especially like watching this video, you know what to do with this. So moving forward, to be more, aware of who you are supporting. Because, like, the way I think of it is if you knew someone that was doing something shady personally, you probably wouldn't deal with them. So, why deal with a celebrity or a brand or a person who is doing the same thing on
right?
a higher level? Like,
Yeah, like what Travis Scott's at the highest in the room. And I was gonna say, like, what I've always liked about Armand is just that, Drika. Like the fact that I feel like he actually is getting the information. Like, you know, with the Meg the Stallion case, you heard so many things, but he actually went to the court and brought the actual info.
the
So I
documents.
actually get what the monitoring spirit is doing. Like now I can understand it. So sometimes too, we have to participate in things so we can get an understanding down the line. Like I had no idea why I had to watch Armand Wiggins. Now
Yeah,
that I'm finding out he's the monitoring spirit, I'm like, oh, so I know
got
exactly how
it.
this person is. So
Now it's like,
it gets
got
deep,
the info.
and that's probably why they like him too, because he's giving them like very detailed of what's actually going on, the facts. I notice with the tarot, it's very factual when it comes to things and very grounded. It's not very like they're not seeing things.
Intuitive.
It's not intuitive. It's actually what's going on. They're not looking at people and they don't know your rank because they see you and know your rank. They know your rank based around how the world's responding to you.
Mm.
So you don't have to worry and don't like be scared, but it's just interesting. Like it's just interesting this whole journey for me because like a lot of times I'm watching things and picking up on things and I don't know how it's going to add up. And then we do a video like this and it's like it's paid actors, it's the Grim Reaper, it's the monitoring spirit.
So many.
And we know that's the theater image. We know we've seen that spirit in the magic mirror. And we could do a whole video down the line on the monitoring spirit since that was the ending point, since we just had we were able to pinpoint it from this Travis Scott concert. But yeah, that's it. That's the episode, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can protect yourself with this. Like I said, prayers and condolences to everybody that passed away.
Yes. Prayers to their family and
To,
peers.
to their families, each and every last one of them. I know it wasn't something they expected, and I just pray their travels were safe back to
Mhm.
heaven and good places, because that was a very terrible experience to have. And I feel very sorry for the families too, because as parents, people are all, I'm not a parent, but parents always like, don't, you can't go. And it's like,
Yeah.
kids always ask you if you can go out, and probably the one time you say yes, it's like this type of disaster, it's the worst thing possible that you think would never happen at like a concert. But what's crazy is, to me, like how Drika was saying she doesn't go to concerts, this is kind of what I expect would happen at a concert.
I did not expect it to happen at a concert.
like I expect something terrible to happen. Like when I went to go see Final Destination, I was like, what if somebody shot this up right now? Like I'm very
And that's
aware.
why
I'm very
no.
aware. I'm very aware of how demons move in the world. And sometimes I just get those thoughts of like, like, what if one of them just wants to like do their little thing today? You know what I mean? Especially if you're going to see a demonic artist, you don't have to live in fear, but it's like, okay, it's very different going to a Whitney Houston concert than to go to a, whatever spirit concert, a water spirit concert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from the water spirit, stay away from the tarot. Learn it, take with what you will, and then don't need the support outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. For growth only.
Yeah, for information and growth only. No attachments. But we love you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day.